Hey y'all, this is just a weekly summary, like a recap of week 1 and going into week 2, just a video for you to kind of be aware of what's happening. So it looks like all of you have logged into Moodle at least once, which is great. I'm not tracking every single time you log in. I just wanted to make sure you'd at least been here and check things out. For week 1, just be sure you're getting those discussion boards in on time. Even if you didn't do an initial post for the values discussion, you could still respond to someone, so you get points for that part of the discussion, the response. But if you do it late, you're going to get 0 points. With the discussions for your SMART goals that you mentioned, if they weren't quite meeting the standards of SMART, I did send you an email just to make sure that you're prepared for introducing those and discussing those in your first paper, so you don't lose points there. So heed that, and then be sure you listen to your classmates when they're checking for that in their response as well. But so far so good. Y'all are checking in and doing the work, which is great. So for week 2, you can see that we're going to cover a little bit more about your core values, really focus in on your goals in your paper, and also talk about resumes. So as you can see, your first paper is due by the 15th. I know that's a little early, but you should be fine on that because it's 3 to 5 pages double spaced, and you've already got the content you need. You're just waiting on your classmates to get back to you to make sure your goals are meeting the SMART standard and things are sort of fitting together. And it looked like y'all were on the right track in your discussion boards. So we're still talking about that, but we're also moving on to resumes. For week 2, this whole video talks about resume. It kind of introduces you to each component of a resume. Some of this is going to be familiar for some of you, and for others, some of this is brand new. That's fine, but it's each component that's in a resume. And then I have a file here I'm clicking on that's all this different help for resumes. So if you have never done a resume or you're using a Word template, I definitely recommend you start here with this basic resume template. I hate the word template for it because you can move things around on this, whereas you can't on something from Word very easily. But if you really just don't know where to start and you don't have a resume at all, or you feel like yours is just not up to par, start with this form in Word and fill things out, and then go from there. There's a list of action words that's super helpful. Professional summaries can stumble people, so I included that. And if you are thinking about your professional summary, you could also relate it to an elevator speech. So think about that. And then there's also resume help. The CALS career guide is in here. When you're done, go through this resume checklist and make sure that everything is where you think it should be. It's just a quick little help. But that's what you'll be working on. The slides talk about the assignment for resumes. Remember, you're going to have someone review that, because in a couple of weeks it's due. So start planning that out. Who's going to help you? If you're local, is it CALS Career Services? Send me any questions you have. You can post them in the frequently asked questions board that's up here at the top. But you want to start planning and working on that. You don't want your resume to be pretty crummy. So get on that. You'll help each other in discussion boards in a couple of weeks on those, but you can definitely ask each other for help now if you want. And next week we'll also be kind of tackling the fine tuning of resumes and how to really refine those small pieces that'll help you stand out in the future when you're seeking jobs. So that's all we have for this video. Just a quick check-in, let you see my face, make sure you're doing okay, and kind of guide you into expectations for next week. Have a great week.